It might be time to walk away from your dismissive avoidant partner once and for all when your nervous system has reached its breaking point, when you can no longer survive on breadcrumbs and half efforts alone, when you cannot stomach the thought of another silent night laying awake wondering what it is that you did wrong, why they're stonewalling you this time, why they're shutting you down and pushing you away this time. Constantly walking on eggshells to avoid triggering them, eating up just little bits of breadcrumbs that they give you to keep you on the hook, tolerating their half efforts and trying to convince them to work on themselves, trying to convince them to emotionally engage in the relationship to meet your needs. But no matter how hard you try, it's met with resistance, silence, stonewalling, and emotional distance. When you finally reach that point where you are just spent emotionally, when you are spent with your nervous system, you cannot regain that while still trying to chase this person, while trying to earn their love. They're showing you it's outside of their capacity. If they're not willing to work on themselves, if they're not doing the work, then believe them. Then nothing is going to change. And your love alone won't make someone want to face their inner wounds. What they're showing you is that they don't want to face their problems. They don't want to face that inner shame. They don't want to face and confront and overcome their fears of vulnerability, intimacy, losing their independence, or any of those triggers that they have. They don't want to face it. They want to avoid it. That's what they're showing you. And it has nothing to do with your worth. But by continuing to stay in that relationship and chase and try to earn their love, you're just losing your sense of self. You are just failing to show up for yourself at this point. Now, everybody has a different breaking point. Everybody has a different tolerance of what they will or won't allow in a relationship. And for some people, the best thing is to walk away early on if there's any signs of dismissive avoidant attachment. Some people have a greater breaking point. But if you are finding yourself emotionally spent, constantly in a state of anxiety, just trying so desperately to cling on to this relationship, and they're giving you nothing of substance, just enough breadcrumbs to keep you from walking away, then it really might be time to walk away. Because when somebody shows you that they're not wanting to change, they're not wanting to work on themselves, believe them. Because by continuing to stay in the relationship, you're only self-abandoning. You're failing to show up for yourself, pushing you further into anxiety and chipping away at your self-esteem. You deserve better than that. Take care of yourself, show up for yourself, and walk away if the relationship is hurting you.
Oh, and don't use their wounds, their traumas, their shame, their insecurities, their pain as an excuse to stay and endure further mistreatment. You can have empathy for them and care about them and have compassion. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to care about another person. You can even love them, and that's okay. But you can love somebody and have empathy for them and still say, well, I love you, I care about you, but I can't continue to subject myself to this because this is only hurting me. And unfortunately, I can't force you to do the work. So staying in this situation is not something that I can do anymore. And that's okay. You can have empathy for someone, but doesn't mean you're obligated to be on the receiving end of their hurtful behaviors. Even if those hurtful behaviors stem from their pain, it doesn't make it okay. And their pain is not a blanket excuse for the constant silence and emotional distance. They are fully grown adults and they are fully responsible for their actions. And if they're showing you that they're not interested in doing the work, it's important to believe them. It doesn't even necessarily mean that they're a bad person. They can be a good person, but a good person can still be a bad partner. A good person can still be an unhealed person that is a person that really is harmful to be in a relationship with if you're looking for that emotional connection, if you're looking for your needs to be met and they're not meeting them. Then at that point, if you recognize that this relationship is only causing you emotional distress, anxiety, and you are losing yourself, look back and remember that person that you were before this relationship. Remember how you were. Remember the confidence you had. You can have that back, but you're not going to get that back if you're continuing to try to earn their love. You can get that back by respecting your worth and respecting the fact that love shouldn't have to be earned. That you can actually be in a relationship with someone who gives you love the way you give it. You don't have to settle for the breadcrumbs. You can regain that sense of self by showing up for yourself, learning about things like boundaries, about how they'll protect you moving forward. Because if you hold boundaries, you'll never be in a long-term relationship with a partner that is not meeting your needs ever again, because it'll be outside of you what you'll allow. That's what your boundaries are. Learn about healthy relationships. What makes it work? What makes it doesn't work? What makes it not work? Pour your energy into yourself. Pour your energy into things that are good for you. Show up for yourself and recover yourself. It's like flying in an airplane. In case of emergency, you need to secure your own oxygen mask first before you can help anybody else. And if you are emotionally depleted, if your nervous system is spent and shot, how can you truly show up for anybody else? You got to start by taking care of yourself and make sure that your emotions, your emotional brain, your nervous system, your mental well-being is taken care of and nourished. You do that by showing up for yourself, by doing things like holding boundaries and putting your energy into things that uplift you. But if you are chasing the love of an unavailable partner when it's well past the point where you are emotionally depleted, you're not going to be feeling very good, and you're going to lose yourself further, becoming more anxious, and it'll only chip away at your self-esteem. Don't do that to yourself.